In terms of props, blocks, and if you don't have blocks, think of sort of foam rollers. Get a couple, strap most definitely. Line your backs, and we'll warm up. So just knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Take the right leg up into the ceiling. Hold the back of the right thigh, bend the knee a fair bit. Hug that upper leg down, and then just a few times lift the right heel up, re-bend the knee. Try to do that without that right thigh lifting up and forwards. So just do that a few times, just get warming up those hamstrings. Good, for 3, 2, and 1, nice work. Same thing, second leg, bend the knee, hold the back of the left thigh, hug it down, lift the left heel up a few times and re-bend the knee. Pretty simple stuff. Just get blood pumping into those hamstrings so they're ready for what's to come. Everything I say in these sessions, of course, is suggestions. You don't have to do them. You can pick and choose as well what works best for you. Good, come all the way out. Take a belt. Wrap up the right foot round the arch, and then the strap that's on the inside, that right leg wraps around the back, and then right hand reaches up, grabs the belt. Take your leg to about 70-ish% of your hamstring stretch. Still early days, but let's create some force. So with that arm, pull the leg back, with the leg push forwards in simple terms. Good, 3 or 4 breaths from there. When you're ready, slowly release. Strap around the arch of the left foot. The strap that's on the inside of your leg wraps around the back. Reach up with your left hand. Again, take your leg to whatever stretch feels good, no more than 80% for sure. Bend your left elbow, turn your left bicep up. Good, now press your left thigh forwards, your left shin, your left heel. Those instructions are a little bit more specific on the second side, a little bit more somatic, so you probably get a lot more out of it. Another breath. Nice, and then come all the way. Just a brief down dog to begin. Just walk the legs one by one. In some of the other sessions, I'm a bit more, I go into a little bit more detail about kind of down dog alignments and stuff, but just create a shape, bum is up, arms are reaching, bend one leg, straighten the other. I think the main thing in down dog, for the sake of fatiguing your shoulders, is to draw up and back through the pelvis, the inner legs. Otherwise, all your momentum is dumping down into your shoulders, and it's a pose that men really don't like to begin with. Good. Rock forwards to plank, lower down to the floor. Come into our first locust pose. Arms back. Feet roughly as wide as the hips, okay? Tops of feet to the floor, lift the upper body. Keep the hands down for this one. And then lift up the legs through the inner legs and just point the feet back. Can you lift the top of the hamstrings a little bit more? Another breath there. Nice. Downward facing dog. Press the toes down, draw the heels back for a moment. Lift the outer hips up, draw them back. Left knee down, right foot forwards. Just come into this low lunge position. Wiggle that front leg 3/4 of the way straight. Dig the right heel firmly down. Reach the arms back a bit. Take the chest a little forwards. Now, I'm not too fussed about how straight your leg is, but I want it to work. We're loading the upper body on top of those hamstrings. So you've got to dig your heel into the floor to engage them. Take another breath. Good. Take your time, come out of that. Downward facing dog. Right knee down, left foot forwards. Same thing again. Wiggle that front leg nearly straight. Dig the heel firmly into the floor. Draw the left hip back a bit. Arms back, chest forwards. Really press the left heel down. Steady your eyes. You're in a balancing position as well. 2 breaths. When you're ready, come out of that. Downward facing dog. Rock forwards to plank. Lower down to the floor for locust again. Hands back. Lift the inner legs, lift the top of the hamstrings. This time flex the feet. And then really feel like you're trying to lift the back of those ankles up into something and press the heels slightly back. If you want to reach your arms back, fine. Good, but let's just focus on what you're doing with your feet and your legs. From there, release. Downward facing dog. Left knee down, right foot forwards. Come up into your low lunge, hips a little forwards. Take the arms up. Lean the arms, head and chest a bit forwards and then over to the right. Press the front foot firmly down, create the action of drawing it back. Look, your hamstrings are in a shorter range here. Yes, they're working, absorbing load, but the quads are as well, all right? Another breath. Good. Step back into down dog. Right knee down, left foot forwards. Low lunge, hips a little forwards, arms up. Go forwards and to the left with your upper body. Press the front foot down again. Create the subtle action of drawing the heel back. Keep that, 2 more breaths. Exhale, downward facing dog. Rock forwards to plank again. Lower all the way down for locust again. A little bit different with the feet. Arms back. Lift the legs, point the feet, but then only draw the toes forwards. So don't change the angle of your ankles. So the ankles are still in plantar flexion. They're pointing the feet back, but the toes draw forwards. And then with those big toe mounts, press back and then try and connect energetically up the inside of the legs from the big toe mounds towards the groins. Another breath. Good. Slowly release that. Step back into downward facing dog. Rock forwards to plank again. Lower down into Sphinx. Elbows under shoulders. And rather than focus on the upper body in this Sphinx, just use it as a platform to do something with the hamstrings. So take the elbows a little bit wider, take the hands a little in, and take the head and chest a little bit more down to the floor. Tuck the toes, then walk the feet back a bit. You know what probably hamstring curls are. You bend the knee, feet to the bum. I want you to try and create your own resistance. So I want you to do it passively first, so you feel just how relaxed the hamstrings are. Just bend the knees, feet to the bum, all right? That's not doing anything for us. So imagine there's 2 really kind of heavy sandbags or weights on the back of those ankles, shins, and then create your own resistance. Feel like you're lifting them up, trying to push them towards the bum. So go slow with this. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep going for 1, keep bending. Good, then when you get there, create the action of lifting the heels up. And then pressing the back of the heels towards the line of the head without actually moving them. Maybe your thighs are lifting a little bit. Nice, release that. Just a very, very brief child's pose. In child's pose, if you can't get your head to the floor, just simply bring the fists back, place them one on top of the other under the forehead. Take another breath. And when you're ready, come all the way up. Just come into a standing position, middle of the mat. Feet under the hips. Knees are bent. Arms go back like we do in locust, palms facing down. Lift the chest, front of the shoulders, back of the shoulders, back of the head a little bit. So certainly the shoulders are higher than the hips. Now with the feet pressed firmly down, and then lean forwards more. How straight your legs are up to, but I want to bend in the knees. As you lean forwards, the hamstrings become the brakes of you falling forwards and down. So they've got to work. Breathe out, release that, bend the knees as much as you need to get the hands to the floor. Take the hands to the back of the shins. Feet press down, keep that. Heels draw back, keep that. Hands press forwards into the shins, keep that. Lift the outer hips slowly up. For 5. Good, keep breathing, keep working for 4. 3, 2, 1, nice work. Slowly release. I just did very gentle forward bend, hands to the floor. Relax the head and chest as you breathe out. Now take your hands to your blocks or alternative foam rollers or whatever. Hands under the blocks, top of the mat. Right foot forwards, left foot back. Your back heel might be up or your foot turned out, whatever kind of helps you balance. Hands under the shoulders. Front foot between the blocks-ish. Press the front foot down, draw the heel back, and then right outer hip lifts up and back to straighten that leg. Now this might be enough load for your hamstrings. For some of you, you will then take that block in the right hand away, right hand to the shin. If you want more load on your hamstrings, left hand to the right shin as well. Now keep pressing the inside and outside of your foot down equally. 2 more breaths. The eyes are relaxed, but they're focused. Hands back to the blocks. Switch legs. Good. Hands roughly under the shoulders. Press the front foot firmly down, draw the heel back. Left hip draws up and back. You're not trying to straighten your leg fully and push your knee back. Good. If you want more load, left hand to the left hand to that left shin. Right hand potentially to the shin. Chest forwards, potentially. Chest a little down, potentially. Another breath. Exhale, release that. Come to lie on your back however you get there. Just take a brief pause. Feet together, knees apart. Rest your hands wherever. Just a couple of steady breaths. Breathe in a little bit deeper to the belly, to the ribs, to the chest. Breathe out a little bit slower. Last active pose. Feet flat, knees bent. Walk the legs 3/4 of the way straight. So straighter leg bridges where the dominant force of lifting the pelvis comes from the hamstrings, not the glutes. So if you want to isolate the glutes, you bend the knees, feet to the floor. Isolate the hamstrings, get the legs straighter. First round, dig the heels, lift the bum. If you can not press those elbows down, that means the hamstrings have got to work harder. If you need to press the elbows down, you're supporting the hamstrings with those arms. Good. Bum up, bum forwards, heels pressing down for 3, 2, 1. Come all the way down. Pause there, take a breath. On the next one, you can increase the load on your hamstrings by taking the hands, pressing down the thighs, and doing it again. Again, it's all optional stuff. Dig the heels, lift the bum, hands press down. 2, 1. And like any of these, you can decide how many reps, how long you're holding each rep for. Single leg, straight leg bridges. Right knee into the chest. You're going to isolate your left hamstrings. Optional, of course. Dig the left heel down, lift the bum, release. Right leg 3/4 of the way straight, or even longer if you want to. Left knee into the chest, dig the right heel down, lift the bum. Breathe out, come out. And then just a nice passive hamstring stretch to finish. Right leg up, hold the back of the leg. Do not work those hamstrings, just a nice easy release of tension. 3 or 4 breaths. Release, same thing, left leg. Go into a bit of a stretch. Don't work those hamstrings in terms of pushing and pressing and pulling. Good, 2 more breaths. Come out of that, lie on your back. Just take 1 or 2 steady breaths and finish your session whenever you want. Nice, good work, gents.